Sup guys, it's Desrow. We have Game 4 of Replay Thursday, Episode 1, Season 2. This is a gold Protoss. He says Colossus build into High Templars. I keep trying to build a High Templars, but every time I try to put the building down, it got cancelled. My question about PvT. I have a very hard time deciding what engagements to take, specifically when to continue pushing forward and when to call it good. He also says, thanks Desrow, I tune in almost every day before class. On another note, this replay was one of my favorite because it felt like I played very well. Alright, good to know. So we have 13 gates. Was that 13 gate or it was a little bit delayed? Okay, so you chrono one more time. Like as soon as the chrono ends, you chrono one more time. So what bam? Alright, no, this guy's good. This guy's good. I'm not sure why I doubted him. Good macro for a gold player. I've seen worse. Okay, so far so good. Now the core. Look at him. Now this guy over here is a gas first. No, actually it's like a delayed gas. So he's gonna go into Reaper. No, just Reactor. I'm not sure what this build is by the turn. So you made the Nexus, then the Mothership Core, then the gas, then the gas. Nice. Then the Panon. Wow, this guy. This guy knows what's up. Then Ward Gate, then Stalker. Look at this guy. Then Stalker. Ah! Don't waste Chrono Boost. It's really important. Like, yeah, okay. So everything up to that point was like Diamond Master level. So for a gold player, that's pretty impressive. But, you know, just making an early second gate for no reason. Because you'll have enough money to put down the Robo. You'll have enough gas to put down the Robo very shortly. And so the second gate doesn't do anything for you. So gate, Robo, Forge is what you want to do. Gate, Robo, Forge. Alright. So chronoing some more probes, that's good. If only you didn't, yeah. If only one of your chrono wasn't wasted, you'd be really far ahead. Okay, expense finished. Expense finished. Start the probes. Start the probes. Start the probes. So see, this is like, there's a lot of good things, but there's a lot of things that are holding you back. So you're trying to do a 3-gate, 3-gate something, which is safe. Like, it's understandable that you want to do this, and like, yeah. So you see, this Nexus has a lot of chrono. So even though I think like it's just a build order that you need to fix, which is 1 gate, 1 Robo, 1 Forge. But otherwise, there's a lot of good things. So moving forward, we've got the Sentry, we've got the very late Robo, the Observer, the Robo Bay right away. Nice timing. Now, the problem is the Forge. The Forge and the fact that your Robo wasn't up sooner. Like, if my Robo's out sooner, I can pretty much know, because this guy did like a very delayed factory and a very delayed starport. So if I go 1 gate, 1 Robo, 1 Forge, with my first Observer, I can pretty much know that this will be coming out. But for you, you're currently in the dark, like literally in the dark. So just to show you why 3-gate into a Robo is a little too safe, and also the Forge is not there. So if you wanna have detection everywhere, you can't, because you can't put down cannons. So you didn't lose too much. I mean, you lost 5 workers. That wasn't so bad. But again, you're cutting probes. You're cutting probes, and your priority, like your priority whenever you're on 2 base, if you're not at 16 over here, unless you're doing a timing attack, which you're not, should be to get at 16. So your priority really should be to chrono probes. And if, yeah, like the reason this Nexus has more chrono boosts, or has less chrono boosts, is because your Robo's right there and you keep chronoing the Robo. So if you see that one of your Nexus is getting to full chrono, manually go and take this one. Because if you just do like your control group and you just chrono boost, it's always going to take the Nexus that's the closest to the building. So for example, if I were to have 2 Forge in the main with the Twi Council, and I keep chrono boosting, and then I look back at my natural and I have full chrono, it's for that reason. So we've got the Forge, finally, some more chrono boost on the probes. But again, the thing is, when you're chrono boosting off of 2 Nexus, it's very easy, especially for people at your level, to just make 1 probe chrono and not look back. And you see you wasted half a chrono, you wasted an extra probe, so it's like you never chrono boosted. So whenever you're chrono boosting, just make 2 white dots at each Nexus. It's not the perfect macro, but until you hit master, it's good enough. Rocks needs to be taken down. As for your vision, I mean, you have a pawn on the map, that's pretty good. But nothing else. So fight for the tower. Leave a probe, leave a zealot. Maybe leave a zealot and then have a probe build a pawn on here and a pawn on there. Maybe a pawn on here, then leave the probe there. Just to, you know, get some extra vision, because it's really hard to see drops coming otherwise. And the observer, I mean, unless he's going Banshee, which he's not, the observer should never be on top of your army. Unless he's going Widow Mine, the observer should never be on top of your army. It should be right outside your natural, where he can attack you, or right outside his natural, so you can see him move out to attack you. Also, you have no clue if he's playing mech or not. The tanks don't do anything to me. The only difference I would do is, versus tanks, I'd get charge instead of blink. You know, because of the splash damage for the tanks on his bio. Now the cannons, this is a little overkill. You want a cannon, there's a few ways to make cannons versus turn. Some of the Koreans, they'll put a cannon right here. That way, like if you're dropping outside a photon overcharge, they, you know, can make a few zealots with photon overcharge and they'll be fine. Or the one I prefer the most is just put a cannon inside the mineral line. That way, if they drop, you can pull the probes and the probes don't die right away. But 3 cannons like this outside the mineral line, not the most efficient. Because they can just like park themselves in front of the Nexus and then shoot down like those probes. And then your cannons don't reach anything. Like sure, it'll protect your Robo Bay if you think about it. So that was like a lot of feedback, just being critical. So you pull the probes right away, that was good. But again, you're still not at 16. You're like, of course, you lost like 8 workers, but 43 versus 37s with the mules. You got to keep in mind the mule is about 4 workers, so you've been really far behind for a long time now. So 1 Forge, no Twilight. The Twilight's really important. The Twilight makes your gateway units good. So Terran, when they have STEM, when they have Medivacs, your gateway units no longer are good enough. But once you get the Twilight upgrades, you know, the Stalkers becomes useful, and then the Zots become useful again. So, oh, you got dropped again, but you just pulled workers instead. And then you pressured, which is actually not bad of an idea. Now is going to be the execution of it. Okay, that was pretty decent. Gotta be careful, man. Yeah, like okay. So the thing is, you have range, so there's no reason for your Colossus to be that close. You should be like kiting him instead of like charging in. You should be kiting him. And once you kill the tanks, I would have actually force field the ramp and try to clear the workers. Because he still hasn't transferred to his natural, so he's sitting on 26 workers over here. If you can kill that, you'll come back even eventually. So you're trying to kite back again. Didn't really work out. Okay. Oh, all the workers, man. So he's on 1-1, and you don't have any weapon upgrades, so killing the Marines, even with Colossus, is very tedious. And then, you know, at this point, with the third, with all the SCVs that he has, the game's over. I know it lasts for another 6 minutes, and I'll try to give you the best advice I can for the rest 6 minutes, the next 6 minutes, but the game's over. So you're trying to get +2, you're trying to chrono more probes. And then you said something about the High Templar transition. This game is too is too messed up. In terms, like, your economy is too messed up for you to ever dream about getting High Templar. So yeah, basically you just need better defense, like 1 cannon per middle line, just better scouting, a more greedy build order, so 1 gate, 1 robo, 1 forge, a more greedy build order, and then take a third. Like, usually what you'll do is you'll do 1 gate, or what I do these days, 1 gate, 1 robo, 1 forge, robo bay, Twilight Council, and then I add all my gates. So I go up to 7 gates. That's kind of greedy, but with Photon Overcharge, it's manageable. And then once you have all your gates, you can either try to go kill him, sort of like you did, except you did it off 3 gates because your economy was really messed up. You can try to go kill them, or you can try to expand. So once you have all your production, you want to expand. Because if you expand too early, it's like the plat replay we just watched in Game 3. You're just spreading yourself too thin, and it's really, really hard. So you have range again, but this time he has Vikings. So the Guardian Shield is good, but so a lot of your Zots were stuck behind the Stalkers. And yeah. So you're finally going for a Twilight Council and adding an expand. So again, like, the cannons, those cannons, they're not very helpful. So you've got the third. The thing is, you seem to love Stalkers, but Stalkers are not fighting units. Like, maybe you're watching my stream sometimes and you're like, wow, he makes Stalkers, I'll make them. They look nice, right? Stalkers are not fighting units. Stalkers are utility units. So they're there for a reason, a purpose. That purpose is to snipe medevacs, snipe Vikings, and bait stems. By bait stems, I mean you would have like your Stalker ball right here. You would try to snipe a Viking, or maybe a Marine, or maybe a Ghost, or whatever. And then once they stem, you blink out. Or when they come in, you blink in. When they come in to drop you, you blink in to snipe the medevac. So Stalkers are you make them for that. Now, at this point in the game, I would just go charge La Templar. Like, I'd drop the Colossus, and I'd go charge La Templar, and my only hope would be to storm him. Because if you look at the supply, even with storms, that's very small opportunity or chance for you to win. But so yeah, if you're gonna make a bunch of Stalkers and you don't have Blink, it's really hard to make something happen. Just so you understand a little bit better how PvT works. So yeah, thank you a lot again, LHD91 on Reddit. For submitting this replay. I hope you do a lot of good things early game as a gold player. After that, chrono boosting your probes is inconsistent, and your build order is too safe, and your cannon placement is a little too shaky. The micro part wasn't so bad. I mean, you have range, so you need to kite, but you know, attack moving sometimes can be tricky. Depending on your league, and it didn't seem to be a problem for you. So thank you again for submitting, guys. It was game 4. We'll be back with game 5 in just a bit. Stay tuned.